They drained our entire lake overnight. Let that sink in. I woke up to the sound of machines, and by sunrise the water was gone. Fish flopping and mudbirds circling like they knew something was off my grandfather's lake. The place where I learned to cast a line, skipped rocks, watched the seasons change. It was nothing but a stinking pit. And Brenda Sullivan. She called it a flood prevention initiative. Yeah, more like a land grab wrapped in fake concern. I live in Clearview Heights, or as we've started calling it, Clear Cut Heights. HOA run rules tighter than a miser's wallet, and Brenda, our self-declared queen, sat at the top with a fake Gucci purse and a printed-out title of president she probably laminated herself. That morning I ran out, barefoot, half-dressed, yelling at the water pump operators like they'd murdered someone. One guy pointed to a clipboard with the HOA seal like that made it all okay. Hours later, the emergency HOA meeting was packed. Brenda stood up there like she was giving a TED Talk, waving some pixelated safety report claiming the lake posed serious flood risks. Said she had to act immediately to protect lives. The whole thing was as fake as her highlights. I could tell from the back row the numbers didn't add up, and that letterhead looked like it had been printed at Kinko's. After the meeting, I found old Hank Dawson standing near the mud pit. Hank's been here longer than the sidewalks. He just whispered, "This lake's all I got left. Used to feed ducks with my wife here." His voice cracked, and that's when I knew. I had to do something. I started digging. Not with a shovel, with public records, websites, permits, email trails. The company that wrote that emergency report, Clearwater Environmental Solutions, didn't exist. Their listed address was a gravel lot in Nevada. Their phone number disconnected, and their website looked like it was built in '99 using a dial-up modem. Just as I hit a wall, Tessa Harper showed up on my porch backpack laptop, a fire in her eyes. Tessa's our neighborhood's quiet genius, freelance accountant, tech whiz, and daughter of the man who planted half the oak trees in this place before the HOA forced him out. She flipped open her laptop at my kitchen table, scrolled through a set of emails between Brenda and a guy named Todd Ramsey, developer Sleaze HOA board member. Subject line: Sunrise Realty Deal, Lake Property Priority. Inside, a plan to drain the lake, fake a flood report, sell the land to developers for a cool $100,000, all under the guise of safety. I asked, "How'd you get these?" Tessa smirked. Let's just say Brenda should have picked a password more complicated than Muffin123. At the next HOA meeting, I stood up calm, collected, and asked if anyone could verify the legitimacy of the report. Brenda didn't even let me finish. "Mr. Foster, you're out of order," she snapped. "This is harassment." She fined me $200 right then and there. Todd Ramsey just sat in the front row, smirking, Rolex flashing. I remembered him crying poor last month during the landscaping vote. Now he's dripping in gold. Back home, I kept digging. Tessa found a 5-year-old lawsuit against Brenda, same scam, different neighborhood. She sold flood-prone land to buyers, then claimed she didn't know, got sued for $300,000, declared bankruptcy, and popped up here like a moldy jack-in-the-box. We had a pattern. But the real kicker, a $50,000 payment from Brenda to that fake company, Clearwater Environmental. Proof of fraud. That night I heard heavy machinery fire up again. I ran out. There was a bulldozer at the edge of what used to be the lake. Brenda, in a silk bathrobe and bedroom slippers, was barking orders at the driver. They weren't just draining it, they were about to erase it. So we fought back. Brenda called herself the future mayor, now showing resort blueprints to developers on her lawn. But I had a recording, her voice saying she didn't care about the lake, she just wanted the cash. I showed it to the neighbors. "Drop a comment if you think we should flood it again," I said, smiling into my phone. The next week, the HOA dropped new rules: no lawn ornaments, no unapproved paint colors, no pets visible from the street. She launched a newsletter too, listing problem residents. I was at the top. "Kids, stop feeding the fish," because there were no fish. One little girl asked her mom, "Where did the lake go?" and I had to walk away before I lost it. So we made a plan. Hank showed us the old water system he helped build. This neighborhood, he said, was designed to flow. Close one valve, open another, water starts coming back. We tested it, quietly, subtly, one valve at a time. Soon puddles appeared, then patches of marsh. Brenda's fancy lawn soggy. Her HOA picnic relocated because of unusual soil saturation. Her designer shoes stuck in the mud. Tessa built burner accounts spreading rumors online. "You can't build on that land, too unstable." The posts went viral. Sunrise Realty's surveyors arrived in khakis and polo shirts, ready to plan their luxury resort. They left in soaked socks and mud-covered clipboards. Unbuildable, they said. Groundwater's too high. Meanwhile, Todd started cracking. Paranoia, twitching eyes, flinching every time someone said flood. He tried warning me off at the grocery store, told me this goes higher than Brenda. I didn't flinch. So does the water, Todd. Then Brenda cut my power. 3 days in the dark. I used my car to charge my phone, melted ice to drink. It was psychological warfare. But neighbors noticed. They started asking questions. A casserole showed up on my porch. Mr. Rodriguez offered his generator. People were waking up. Tessa's hidden cameras started capturing gold. Brenda bribing city officials, passing envelopes, whispering behind dumpsters. Then came the video that would blow it all open. Brenda mid-HOA meeting saying, "I don't care if they've lived here 30 years. Cross me and I'll bankrupt them." Caught on audio. Perfect clarity. I leaked it. The tide turned. Neighbors started sharing stories. Mrs. Patterson fined for her gnomes. Hank laughed at for wanting the lake restored. People were done being afraid. Then came the arrest. Police showed up at the park, cuffed me in front of everyone. Brenda watched from her window, grinning. But she didn't see the neighbors filming everything. She didn't know Todd had flipped, sent me an email with every bribe, every shady deal. Didn't know that Hank had already submitted a report to the feds showing Brenda's whole scam was based on fabricated data. She tried going live on social media, ranting about how she saved the community. A frog hopped into frame, then another, then the floor cracked and water seeped up through her basement. She screamed on live stream. 20,000 people watched her slip and fall, croaking frogs cheering her downfall. EPA declared the area protected wetland. Turns out some of those frogs were endangered. You couldn't build a lemonade stand there now, let alone a resort. Brenda's facing federal charges. Todd singing like a bird to the FBI. The lake's refilling slowly, naturally. We planted new trees. Kids are skipping stones again. But as I stood by the dock holding my grandfather's old fishing rod, a frog leapt beside me and croaked like it had something to say. Across the lake, I saw another HOA president in a power suit yelling at seniors about property lines. Behind her, that same Sunrise Realty logo. Guess it's time to load up the wrench again. The lake's safe, for now. But someone else just woke up a sleeping swamp. So what do you think? Did we go too far or not far enough? Drop a comment. This war ain't over.